I want to talk to you about the worst Halloween criminals ever. So, if you're thinking about going on Halloween and starting up and wearing a really scary Freddy Krueger costume and a real chainsaw and starting up that real chainsaw, no, that's not okay. It's never, ever. There is no debate when something goes way too far. I'm like, well, I think it's funny. No, there is something wrong with you, and you need to be arrested and put directly on death row just for the tastelessness of your crime. Your crime is being a tasteless, immoral person, and I think that those people, who do that are subhuman. They're not human anymore to me. They will be known as subhumans. And everyone says that there is no such thing as a subhuman. But you don't have any feelings. You don't know. What if that person has an injured leg and you start up their chainsaw and you scare the fuck out of them and they're trying to run away from you? That's not okay. I mean, and your brother is carrying like a sword because you are going around with a chainsaw. And he's like, hey, dude, that's not okay. Your sister or brother goes around with a sword because you're carrying around a chainsaw and going around as a hero with a real sword. Well, neither of them is okay. But I think, like, pointing a sword at someone with a real chainsaw, that's more acceptable than carrying a real chainsaw and just scaring everybody. You know. I mean, that police should use deadly force against someone who is causing public alarm. If you're causing public alarm, I will use deadly force on you because that's alarming. It's alarming and it's scary, and I don't want it happening in my city. I do not want this happening in Lodi, not in Galt, not in Sacramento. Nobody. Please, officers, if you can't see the weapon very well, if you really couldn't see it that well, you didn't have your glasses or your contacts fell out, please say, I can't see it very well. Please be honest. Don't cover up for your eyesight and be like, oh, it's Halloween. Do not make that excuse. That excuse is never okay for an officer not to do their job properly. You need to do your jobs properly. You need to go in with flashlights and shine them in on everyone's hands. Sir, let me see your weapon. And he starts up the weapon. You are to be tasteful. You are to be now, maybe it was a fake chainsaw. I don't know. I was not there, but if I see it, if it is definitely real, something definitely needs to happen. That guy definitely needs to be put on death row. This man, these people running around with chainsaws and stuff definitely need to be put on death row. They need to be killed because we can't have that happening in our city. Because that's literally an equivalent of, that literally equals you're literally causing public alarm. At least up to 20 years in prison or something. You need to give these people 20 plus years, lifetime in prison for this type of shit. This shit should go life in prison. Life. I think it's okay to be a gangster with, it's okay to be like a gangster or something with maybe a bandana around your neck, not covering your face, and maybe some very toyish looking props at the most. Some very toyish shit. Some toyishness as shit props. But it's not okay to go around looking like a gangster. maybe in a perfect society, where gangsters are a thing of the past, I'm talking if gangsters were a thing of the past, we would go around with toyish-looking props. In a perfect society, we would all agree that toyish props, your toy gun and your toyish weapons, your weapons should be as toyish-looking as possible, and they should also be illuminated. If you want people to know that they're a toy, they should be illuminated. You should illuminate your toys. Let other people know that they are toys. Let other people who can't see that well in the dark know, hey, it's a toy. Do not try and start up your toy props. Don't try and scare them. That's not okay. You could get pepper sprayed. Or some little kid could take a pair of scissors and slit your throat. It'd be like, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. Okay. You could get your throat slit by a mother or a father. You could get kicked in the nuts. Bad things will happen to you if you are tasteless. Now, how to be tasteful is being a zombie fairy with no weapons. That's tasteful. Yes, my wings were kind of big, and yes, they did accidentally bump into people. But in my book, it's still very tasteful. It's still okay to be a zombie fairy, just because it's tasteful. It's a tasteful costume. Or if you're like a peasant or something for Halloween. If you're like a peasant for Halloween, that's tasteful too. Or Taco Bell. Literally Taco and the Princess Belle for Halloween. That's okay too. If you're tacos and Belle, or if you're Taco Bell, a Bell and tacos. Yeah. Or for refrigerator. That's okay. It doesn't matter how far you take those costumes, but maybe not take them to. I guess you could technically take. Well, I guess if you were Gutto Bell, taco gut. That would be too far. Human guts in a taco, and this make it look super realistic on your stomach. No, that's a little much. But I'm getting off topic here. But the point is, don't be someone who is a complete asshole on Halloween. You can still have a scary looking costume that's scary, but not scary enough to cause public alarm. So let me give you an example of a costume I think is scary, but it is not scary enough to cause public alarm. So if you're a Dementor, for example, maybe don't wear the mask. If you're a Dementor, don't wear the mask or something. If you're that girl from Spirited Away, again, don't wear a mask. Mask can add to the scariness. And if you think that your costume is going too far with the mask, cut up the mask and throw it away and be like, you know what? This is as far as I'm going for Halloween. It's okay to not go far enough with scariness, but it's never okay to go. It's okay to be on the lighter side of scariness, but it's never okay to be on Halloween. On Halloween, it's never okay to carry a chainsaw. It would never be okay with me to carry a chainsaw for someone to carry your chainsaw, start it up, and scare everybody. You'd scare, oh my God. You give people panic attacks. You give people it's never okay. Let's say someone has PTSD. Let's say there's a soldier with PTSD out on Halloween in downtown Sacramento. You being too scary could give him severe PTSD and panic attacks. And his heart could you could get get all panicky. He'd be all panicky. He would be panicking. He'd be panicked. He would be panicking. You cannot it is never okay to scare someone, to joke around PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is not a joke. It's not a joke. It is never okay to scare a little kid or a teenager into getting PTSD. PTSD is not a joke. They have to take panic medications. I'd have to take my Klonopin. It's not a joke. It's not okay. This is Mahone 3478 with Halloween Crimes. This is your host, Mahone 3478, signing off.